We gotta get the disclaimer in there.
It's more of a boundary setting, is because I'm all about mutual respect. So I'm going to respect you, every single person in here, but I expect the same respect back. So do I curse a lot? Yes. If it's going to be an issue, feel free to get the fuck out of this room, because we are here to have an honest and open dialogue. And I don't need to have anybody calling out things about me that I already fucking know about myself. So with that being said, we're going to have a great time today. We're going to go over a lot of shit. I'm going to be really blunt, really honest, really to the point. And if you don't like it, that's okay. I might not be for you. And if you like it, let's fucking jive. And this is the energy I want you guys to bring into your life and into your dating experiences and into everything that you do. Because it's not about me conforming to make you happy. It's about you guys being yourself authentically and resonating with people that love it that way. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Elise, am I taking it from here, or you tell me?
Nope, sorry. I was just muting to let you have the mics. But I mean, I could have let you take it away. You were already taking it away. So guys, there's not much more of a better introduction that I could give about Sabrina. She is the owner of Do the Work podcast, which is about owning up to your shit, your attachment styles. She went through a heavy breakup. Her life felt like it was falling apart. And she was like, dude, I got to do something about this. I got to do the work. So she created an entire empire around this, met her life partner like a week later. I think it was some crazy thing like this. Yeah. And has now grown to over 1 million followers across all social media platforms. She's getting to 1 million on basically each individual platform. She's crazy. And she swears a lot, and why we love her. She's honest, and you're not going to get anything different than what she gives you. So today I brought her in. She's coming here. She obviously has a lot of things that she could be doing. She came here today for free to help you get out of your victim mentality. You know, the world is unfair. We all have circumstances that we can't control, and we can get into this mindset of like society is controlling us, or women are bad, or whatever. And that's not the route that we want to take. It's not masculine. It's not helping us move things forward. So with all the work that Sabrina has done, she's coming in here today to give you guys a presentation on how you can step out of the victim mentality and step into your true masculine, into who you should be, and actually do the work. So without further ado, we have Sabrina fucking Zohar and
Sabrina fucking Zohar. I love it. Thanks, Elise. Sweet. I'm really excited to be here with you guys, because I think, me personally, like, I know victim mentality is really easy to fall into. Like, it's hard to not be able to be like, but why is everything happening to me? And this is where reframing is so important. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And we have to start really understanding, like, are there patterns here? Are there things that we're not addressing? Is there something that's repetitively, consistently happening in your life? Great. So then let's address it. So something I really want to just preface before we even get started, I have my fun little presentation to show you guys. And I want to just preface something really quick. No one in this entire room is broken. There's nothing to fix. Every one of you guys, every person here is whole and beautiful and lovely and incredible as they are. But it just means that there are some triggers, that are some things that we need to heal through in order to show up authentically ourselves. And, you know, I understand, like, right now, especially on the internet, everything's anxious and avoidant and this and that. And I want to clear the air and stop muddying the waters, because it's not about us self-identifying with things, because that is very much victimhood. And it really is about us empowering ourselves and understanding, I'm going to share my screen, understanding like really what we're trying to achieve. Okay, so you guys are seeing what right now? Elise, can you see my presentation?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I can't see what you guys are seeing, so I don't really know. Okay, sorry guys. I'm technologically a bit of an idiot.
This says embracing empowerment.
Are you just seeing the main slide?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, beautiful. So, okay. Sorry guys, bear with me. I've never done this presentation before. I wanted to give you something unique instead of me just talking. And now I'm trying to figure out how to see this. Okay, so fuck this. I'm just going to go here. All right, let's talk about embracing your empowerment. So we want to discover the power within you and embrace your authentic self and the journey from victim to ownership, right? That is my goal here. Obviously, I can't cure cancer in an hour. So it's probably not, we're not going to be able to get through every single thing today. But What are we talking about here? So first off, I just want to introduce myself. Yes, my name is Sabrina Zohar. I'm the host of Do the Work podcast. I'm a no bullshit, growth-minded community, and I coach people. I help people. Do the Work has now over 6 million downloads in a year, and we have some of the best coaches, best people, best experts to come on to talk about how to handle anxiety. Because at the end of the day, victimhood and anxiety really go hand in hand. Doesn't mean that you're an anxious attachment. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but every person on this planet has anxiety because guess what? You're a human. So I wish that we were exempt from this, but unfortunately we're just not. So now we're going to go here. Okay. So victimhood. So victimhood really is at its core, characteristics are helplessness, blame, resentment, and external focus, like lack of focus of control. So when we look at that, when we think of like really victimhood, which I'm sure like everybody, I am guilty of that. Like I have definitely been the like, I don't understand why the fuck does this keep happening to me? And why is it that I can't do this? And why, you're always asking why. And something that I've really learned is asking why is actually never going to get you to where you want to be. Asking why is just going to constantly leave you with more questions like, why do I keep doing this? And so a reframe off the bat that I want to bring to you guys that's really empowering is instead of asking, why does this woman keep ignoring me? Why does this woman keep doing this? Because like, let me think of it. Let me say if I asked you, it's very helpless, right? Why does this keep happening? If I came to you and said, she's doing this because she's got trauma and she's scared and all this, do you think that's actually going to help you? I'm being honest. Do you genuinely think that finding out the why is going to make you be like, oh, okay, well, I can handle this now. What it is it's actually like I'm studying neuroscience right now, and we have the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. And what happens is when we go into the amygdala, which was done forming when you were the age of 6, that's where we hold on to emotions, and that's where we hold on to feelings. And so when something gets triggered and we go back into the amygdala, that anxious part of the brain, that's our brain is trying to process. That's why we'll ask a ton of why questions, because we haven't turned on the prefrontal cortex, which is decision-making and common sense. So when we constantly ask why, our brain is literally looking for safety. And so when we look at it that way of, oh, I feel dysregulated, I feel like I'm not safe. So let's reframe. Instead of constantly asking why do people do this? Why do people do that? What I'd actually love you guys to start doing is reframing that to, I don't like. So instead of, why doesn't she call me back? I don't like that she doesn't call me back. Whoa, we can do something with this. Then when we reframe why, okay, so if you're saying, I don't like that she blew me off. Okay, what don't you like about it? It makes me feel like I'm not a priority. Okay, that's the fucking issue then. You see where I mean of like, that's then the meat and potatoes of what's bothering you. It's not, well, why I need to know why she's doing this. An external factor is never going to give you internal peace. It's just not a realistic. And so I think when it comes to like understanding, I think now what I'm really stoked on is that mental health is really important to men. And I'm really, really grateful to every fucking person in this group right now for being here. You took a first step. You are taking all of these steps to become a better version of yourself. And so I love, there's a theory. So Martin Seligman, Jesus fucking Christ, learned helplessness theory is a psychological concept that explains how repeated exposure to uncontrollable negative events can lead individuals to a sense of helplessness and a belief that they have no control over their circumstances. So what this theory suggests is that when people perceive that their actions have no impact on the outcome of a situation, they become passive and they give up trying to change their circumstances. Think of it as like, look how much money you're leaving on the table. Like I get it. I totally understand. We cannot control other people. And that's not being in victim isn't like this. Wow, that's it. It's like when we're in victim mode, what we're saying is I can't control myself. I have no control over any circumstance whatsoever. But you're right. What you have no control over everything. That you are 100% correct on, because I can't control you. I can't control Elise. I can't control every single person in this chat right now. I could sit here and talk to you guys for the next hour and give you everything and intellectualize the living fuck out of all of this with you. And you'll still come back to me and say, nah, I don't resonate with that. So what we can control is ourselves. That is something that we can actually take ownership of is, how am I showing up? What am I bringing? Like, how am I interacting? Like, I don't know if anybody watches Love is Blind. Maybe that's just my trash, but it is such a good show. And it's like, you can really start to see the difference between somebody who is really empowered, who looks at things as, I am not waiting for you to come save me because I have saved myself. And like, I know a lot of people, we all want to think that like, oh, no, this came from a girl that I dated when I was 18 who was really rude to me and mean to me. And that's why I'm like this. You learn this from your childhood. That's it. There are more studies than I can even fucking count on my entire body of being, how many muscles I have to show that we have learned this in childhood. Now, that doesn't mean we need to villainize our parents. But we have to learn, okay, so if we're in victimhood, if we're always looking at why does this happen to me, so then we were never taught empowerment. We were never taught that we are in charge of our lives. And it's okay. That's the beauty of it. I don't do any of this work to make our parents bad people. But what I do this for is to look and say, who taught you this? You can love, I love my parents. My mom more than my dad, let's be honest. My dad's an asshole. But I love my parents to, like, my mom is my best friend, but she was ill-equipped as a mother. Not because she's a bad person, but because she had so much trauma of her own. She was a child trying to raise 3 kids with a narcissist. And so as an adult now, I was very helpless. I was always coming into everything as like, woe is me, and everything's happening, and you don't understand me, and you don't get me. And what I did was I created a larger wall. And what that means also is you're not taking accountability. I'm not saying accountability doesn't mean you need to shame yourself. But part of growing out of victim mode means saying, hey, this is how I showed up that I'm not proud of. Or like I'm saying, watching Love is Blind. Like there's one guy, Kenneth, and like he is I'm obsessed with him. He is so blunt, so honest, so to the point, and he's very realistic. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't grow. He's not. And it's like, I know when we look at this being masculine, being feminine, the reality is like being masculine, it's like, what guidelines do you have? Is it like, oh, this equals masculine, this equals feminine? To some things, maybe. But what I really want you guys to focus on, instead of like this false sense of I need to be this and I need to be that, I want you to find a sense of security within yourself. Because think about it. When you feel safe, so as a woman, when I feel safe, that means I can disarm. That means I can receive. I'm in my feminine because I feel safe and I feel I could just be myself. And same with my partner. When he feels safe around me, he can protect me. He can step up and be. So we have a balance here because we're both feeling incredibly safe in our own bodies and ourselves. And then we feel safe to articulate that to our partner. And trust me, this is the first time in my adult life that I've ever felt this in a partnership. So I'm not saying that like, if you've never experienced this, that you're doing something wrong. And I am saying is that you're a human if this is the case. And that's okay. We just now need to learn what parts of yourself are not serving you any longer, right? And so learned helplessness can contribute to the development of depression and anxiety. So when individuals consistently experience situations where they feel powerless and unable to influence the outcome, they internalize a belief that they're incapable of making a difference in their lives. So what this also means is our mindset is so fucking important. Mindset's everything. And I used to hate when people say that. Like I was the girl that probably a lot of you men date, or maybe the behavior that you exhibit on the dates. I was the girl that like, if you didn't text me within 5 minutes of me texting you, I was losing my shit. I was sending you 1,000 messages. I was crying. I was having panic attacks. I was home catastrophizing. And what that meant was what happened was again, we go into the brain. So when we feel an emotion and you go into the amygdala, because it stopped forming when you were 6, you act like a child, right? Like literally think about some of the ways that we act. I don't mean to be an asshole when I say, how old do you sound? Just being very realistic of like, do you sound like a grown ass adult that's sitting here going, all right, she didn't contact me. Maybe it just didn't work out, versus she didn't contact me because there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I scared her away. It's like, whoa. That is a core belief. And what happens is then when we have reaffirming experiences, because you date the same type of women that exhibit the same behaviors that feel comfortable and familiar to you, then all of a sudden here we are, self-fulfilling prophecy, constantly using see, this keeps happening. And it's like, I can see why this keeps happening because I can see the dynamics and the red flags that are being overlooked early on in the relationships, and then why we get on this hamster wheel. Because most often than not, if I hear one more fucking time, healthy equals boring. This girl's into me and I just don't feel a spark. It's like, that's your problem. When you're chasing a feeling, you're always going to be chasing. The casino is always going to win. Let's just be honest. So that means that anxiety is always going to take precedence. So, sorry, I love studies. So I have like 400 studies about this because I want to give you guys like actual facts, and it's not just me blowing hot smoke. Like there are a lot of fucking coaches and stuff, Elise, I know you know, on the internet that are like just making shit up, frankly. Just like there's one guy that says if a guy doesn't text you for 24 hours, it's because he doesn't care about you. You could be dying on the side of the street. He doesn't care about you. And it's like, what facts do we have?
Girl, preach it.
What facts do we have to back this up? And so that's like a big on challenging your fucking thoughts. Just because you have a thought does not make it fact. Just because you have a thought does not make it a reality, but it does when you give into it. So if you're constantly going into the dating pool of like, see, no women ever want me. Great. What's your brain doing? We're looking for the women that don't want us. See, no women ever want us. That's our reality. Go outside later and say, I'm looking for a red car. Look at the cognitive bias that's going to happen. You're going to only see red cars because when you really believe it, then you start to see it. So let's see. So one thing I wanted to also talk about was, I know with victimhood, rumination goes hand in hand. I get it. I know, like when you're in that mode, it's a constant. And so rumination has consistently shown its association with increased stress, negativity, and decreased well-being. So rumination is the tendency to repetitively focus on negative thoughts, feelings, and experiences, often without finding a resolution or solution. Now that's the issue. That's the meat and potatoes of the victim mode. It's not that things are going to happen to you. Welcome to being a fucking human. Welcome to life, right? It's not that. What it is that what we're looking for is not that, like, I'm the same as you. I have the same issues. I have the same troll. I have the same people. I have the same. We're all experiencing this. Like I had yesterday, a guy flicked me off because I changed lanes because he was going slow. And you're just like, okay, listen, I can't own this. You were going slow. I literally just moved to the next lane and he was honking me and flicking me off. And you're like, that's your experience. That's your experience. I'm not going to own this. That's me taking control versus I could have easily gone into victim of like, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? I don't understand. And ruminated and spiraled. And when we do that, we give credence and strength to the thoughts. Because remember, thoughts aren't facts. So if we really want to start challenging, I need you guys to do 3 simple things. I fucking charge people for these 3 things. So I'm going to share them with you right now. 1, you want to get the fuck out of this victim mode? Start to regulate your nervous system. Do you know what dysregulation looks like? I do. I know what my dysregulation looks like because I am so motherfucking, and I am so in my body. It's crazy. So my eyes start to dart, my shoulders go up. I start to get really anxious. I look everywhere for safety. So what's happening? Dysregulation just means that my body feels that there's a perceived danger, but the amygdala can't determine between this perceived danger being my mom or dad and this being some schmo that I met on the internet and I've had one date with. All it knows is she's feeling the same thing. So 1, we need to regulate our nervous system. You can go grab a sour candy. I keep sour candies all over my fucking house. Grab them in your mouth. Grab ice cubes. You could go do 10 jumping jacks, do some burpees. You could go out for a walk. The point of doing a regulation technique is to bring you back to now. Okay, whoa, where am I? I'm here right now. Because think about it. If I were in the jungle or if we were having lunch right now and everything's going fine and then a tiger walked by, guess what's going to happen? My eyes are going to dart. I'm scanning for safety. I'm going to start sweating because I need to mobilize some energy and get the fuck out of here. So there's nothing wrong with you. That's what I mean. You're not broken. There's nothing to fix. What we're really doing here is just understanding what is coming up in my body. What's happening? That's all I want you to assess. Oh, wow. Okay. When I get dysregulated, I get really sweaty. Great. Yeah, that's your body reacting to a danger. So then after that, it's okay. I want you, once you regulated, what's your trigger? It's a superpower to know what triggers you. I know what sets me off. People that try to put me down for who I am, that triggers me because it reaffirms my core belief. I could tell you right now. So when somebody had said earlier about the cursing, that dysregulated me. You know what happened? My heart started to pound. I started to get sweaty. My eyes started to dart. And what happened is I had to stop for a second and say, whoa, what's happening in my body? Okay, I'm a little dysregulated. This all happened within a moment of a second. This is reaffirming my core belief that I'm too much. Because so instead of me being like, fuck you and you're a piece of shit. No. Instead, I took ownership and said, okay, let me set a boundary. Here's what I'm willing. Here's how I'm going to show up authentically. So I sat with it. I understood my trigger. I sat with it in my body. I felt it. Where is it? It's in my chest. Okay. It's in my chest. That's okay. Sit with it. Allow yourself. It takes 90 seconds for an emotion to run its course. Ruminating starts the clock. over and over, because that means you don't trust yourself. You're constantly looking, scanning, safety, because your brain thinks it's unsafe. Then once you sit with it, what's the narrative that comes up for you? So for me, it was, oh my God, you're too much. And then I had to stop and say, no. That's someone else's perception of me. That doesn't mean that I am too much. Because there are plenty of people that tell me I don't curse enough. And there are people that tell me I curse too much. I don't really give a shit. I'm going to keep being me and showing up as me, but also taking ownership and accountability. It's not someone else's fault that I got triggered. That's on me. But what I can do is then set a boundary to make sure that I'm protecting myself. That's how the fuck we get out of victim mode. That's how we start showing up authentically. That's how, when you go to your partner and say, hey, I didn't appreciate what you said to me. So like, for instance, my partner the other day told me to calm down. I'd love to know, in what world does telling a woman to calm down ever work? I'd love to know. In what world is ever telling a grown-ass woman, you need to calm down, where she's like, you know what, you're right. I'll just be calm. It doesn't work. And so instead I stopped, I took a minute, and I looked at my partner and I said, hey, I don't appreciate when you say calm down, because it reminds me of my father. It's very dismissive and it doesn't allow me the space to be emotional. Moving forward, though, I would appreciate if you said regulate. That would make me understand I'm losing myself and I need you to bring me back down. Notice how instead of me going to him being like, fuck you, you're a fucking asshole, I can't believe you said that, no, I took accountability. Hey, what you said triggered me. And I'd love if you said something different moving forward. So this is where we go into radical ownership and accountability. So taking full responsibility of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It is so refreshing. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. You're doing work with someone, let's say. You're dating someone. It doesn't really matter. Somebody fucks something up. And instead of like, we're dealing with this with our landlord, we've had issue after issue after issue after issue after issue. Since we moved in 4 months ago, it's every 2 weeks, there's another fucking problem. And at first we were calm and it kept going until the point where it was like, hey, this isn't working anymore. This isn't working anymore. Like, we told the landlord, we're like, hey, you got to do something here. And instead of him saying, hey, I'm so sorry, you're right, I should get a property manager out there, there's so many issues, let me handle it, he blamed us. Well, you guys are being really difficult. And we were like, I'm sorry, so the sink broke, that's our fault? A week after we moved in. The plumbing was an issue because your wife's hair was shedding too much in the shower, but that's our fault? Instead of just taking accountability and saying, hey, I'm so sorry, I wasn't able to get this all rectified by the time you moved in, I'll handle it. Taking accountability and radical ownership of your fucking life is going to change your life, because you stop living in this woe is me and you're like, all right, yeah, so maybe I was an asshole to that girl. Maybe I was rude, or maybe I didn't do anything. Maybe I don't feel like I need to take accountability and ownership but it's really by owning your experiences, you start to express yourself differently. You come off differently. It's a different confidence, because it's like, think about it. Owning your experiences is very much an adult act versus a child. What does a child do? I didn't do that. No, that's you. What are you talking about? Because a child's scared of getting in trouble. A child is scared of the repercussions that's going to happen. An adult knows, oh, hey, whoa, I apologize. That was on me. There's a lot of strength in saying, my bad. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Or if you're dealing with a woman that comes to you and says, hey, I feel like this, instead of being like defensive and shutting down, it's, can you clarify a little bit more so I can understand you? When did you feel that I said, like when I was watching Love is Blind, the girl last night, she was being a fucking child. And she's like, you never say I love you to me. You didn't even kiss me once today. Unfair. You never. That's not fair. And the guy even looked and he was like, I've said I love you 7 times in the last sentence. That's where it's like, you almost like, I wanted to strangle this girl because I was like, you're not taking any accountability or ownership for your insecurities, for you feeling like this. You want to blame everybody else. And then we wonder why your life isn't changing. We can't be shocked. And this, again, is not about shaming yourself. Shaming and blaming are never, ever, ever going to heal you. Let me ask you a question. If you have a 5-year-old that's sitting here and you say, hey, did you do that? And they cry and you say, it's okay. I just want to let you know it's safe if you want to express yourself, but I would love it if you take ownership and just acknowledge that you did this. Compassion and love towards somebody. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's okay. I know that you didn't mean to, right? Versus if you told a 5-year-old, because you're a fucking idiot. That's why. Because you're a fucking moron. That because you don't know any better. You shame the child, which is what you do to yourself when you self-talk. You shame yourself. you're going to be it's an addiction. You're on an addiction loop because sometimes we're so used to our home. I had a father that shamed me all the time. He just made it a bit, I always too much. Everything, anytime I'd even show an emotion, it was, here she goes again. And so it was like, I was shamed for having emotions. And so what did I do when I was an adult? I shamed myself for having emotions because I couldn't handle it. It's really, this is not just dating. This is really fucking life stuff. So where are we? Are we on slide 6? Okay. So tools for transformation. Let's talk about how to actually start transforming your life. So I gave you my 3-step process. That's a really, really powerful way to start to understand what's coming up in my body, what's happening, where am I, things like that, like what is going on internally. That is emotional availability. Emotional availability is someone coming to you and saying, hey, I really like you, but here are some things that are upsetting me in this relationship. Can we talk about it? I'd love to have a discussion about it. Here's how it's impacting me. Here's how it's triggering me. Not, I don't talk about this. Cool, so you're shutting down. You're not even emotionally available. You don't even know what the fuck is happening in your life. You don't even know what's going on in your body. So even just sitting with it for 3 minutes, set your clock for 3 minutes. And when you feel an emotion, bless you, Elise, just sit with it. Just sit with it and just allow yourself, okay, I'm going to allow myself to feel. Because I can almost guarantee, maybe similar to my childhood, you didn't have a parent that said, hey, feel it. No, instead it's, man the fuck up. That's my brother. My brother comes from my father's mindset of, don't be a little bitch. Come on, be a fucking adult. And it's like, no. Dismissing emotions doesn't make you a man. Let me repeat that. Dismissing emotions doesn't make you masculine. That's machismo. That's the bullshit, antiquated, misogynistic, I have to make fun of a woman and put her down. It's like, that's not strength. That's not power. That's not real security. That's insecurity masked as a bully, if you ask me. So instead, you know what's real strength? Saying, hey, like the guy on the fucking Love is Blind last night. It was so fucking hot to watch this guy say, hey, we're not right for each other. He was like, you're not feeling me. I'm trying here. I'm okay to walk away. And it's like, wow, way to take control of your life and stop accepting less than you deserve. So something you guys can start gratitude practicing. Even every day, just look at something in your fucking day to say a glimmer. So what's a trigger? A trigger is a cue to your nervous system that you're in danger. What's a glimmer? A cue that you're safe. And sometimes I would literally, like, I would take, when my dog was alive, I would take him on like 2-hour walks and I would literally stop. And sometimes I'd be like, you know what, Sabrina, you need to be present. And I would just, if there's this psychological scan. So if you scan from left to right at eye level and you just keep it at eye level looking across, that actually what you're doing is you're scanning for safety. And when you start to go, oh, the trees are really green. Oh, wow, yeah, it's dewy outside. What you're doing is you're letting your body know that you're safe. You're bringing yourself back to the present moment. Anxiety can't live here. Anxiety is a fear of the future. Depression is an obsession over the past. How do we combat that? Live right now. I'm not saying it's easy. You know how many times I catch myself being or here, and I have to stop myself and be like, yo, come back, babe. You're not there. Journaling is huge. Get it out of here and onto here. Journal. I'm telling you, it's going to be really, really beneficial for you to even just write yourself a letter. Write parts of yourself. Like, what parts of yourself do you hate about yourself? Can you love those parts? So for me, I talk fast. I used to hate that about myself. Now it's a superpower for me. I accept it. It's nothing I don't know. It's nothing that I'm not aware of, but I've accepted myself. Yeah, okay. I curse a lot. Yeah, I talk fast. You don't fucking like it? Don't be here. That is real ownership of who you are. Not, you don't like this? Okay, then let me change. You stand for, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. And if you're going to play chameleon and try to change yourself because every girl says, oh, well, I like a man that's like this. That's not who I am. I'm sorry. That's fucking strength. Not, oh, okay, so then let me be that. How has it worked for you? Has playing chameleon worked? Has that made you feel good? Or do you then start to resent them because you're not being authentically yourself? Got to challenge negative self-talk. I know it's so easy to get into the loop, but sometimes we have to stop and just go, okay, I'm doing it again. Even just acknowledging, whoa, I'm doing it again. I'm on the loop. Okay, whoa, I have some really harsh thoughts to myself. Where did this come from? Where did I learn that this is how I can speak to myself? And setting goals. A big way to reconnect with yourself is to do one thing every single day for 10 minutes that you don't negotiate on. One day, every single day. I make a commitment to myself. I'm going to read 10 pages of my book and I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. Or I do my red light every single morning for 15 minutes. Or I'm going to do 10 minutes of yoga. I don't care. Something that is you. I have my one client and I'm fucking obsessed with her. She was like, yeah, this guy asked me out for Sunday. She's like, but that's my day. That's my girl's day. And she was like, me and my friend every Sunday. And I'm like, I love that. Hold promises to yourself and commitments to yourself that you are non-negotiable. Go have your boys' night. Go to your poker. I don't fucking know, whatever guys do. Go do your thing it's for you. And make a promise. That's how you grow confidence, is when you make a promise to yourself and then you do it and you're like, oh, new core belief. I can do it. What was I so scared of? Living authentically is truly, to me, the key to freedom. You can't live authentically, though, if you don't really know who you are. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people will come to me and say, like, I had one girl and she left me just like, I have people all the time. I wish you spoke slower. I can't keep up. Okay, so if I spoke slower, then I have to try really hard to be in my head right now to speak. It's not going to fucking happen. Then the whole time, I am trying so hard to make someone else happy. And then instead I set a boundary and I said, guys, I'm not going to change who I am. Like, if you like my stuff, great. If not, there are plenty of other people that you can watch. There's plenty of other people you can fuck. You do not have to stop trying to change everyone. Because then you make it about you and you're not making it about them. You don't actually like this person for who they are. You want them to be what you want them to be. How the fuck is that going to work? How's that going to help you? So instead of that, we need to then go, okay, what can I do? What can I take a radical ownership about myself? Yeah, okay, I do this. You don't like it? Then don't be with me. It's okay. It's not I'm pushing people away. You're setting a boundary. And you're letting people know. And I had a girl write me and she was like, wow, you think that you're holier than that you don't need to change. We're the reason you're popular and you're lucky we even listened to you. And like, she was just being so volatile. Of course I blocked her and I was like, get the fuck out of my face. But what did I see? Wow, look how insecure you are. You're the same women that are trying to change men. You're the same girls that are saying, but he said he's not ready for a relationship. I can change him. Because you think that you can change other people. No. Take radical ownership of who you are. Who you are is fucking awesome. You are not anxious. You have anxiety. You are not these things, so don't self-identify with them. You can change all this. You can heal. If you're a narcissist, you're probably not even going to be in here. So we don't have to worry about that. But you can absolutely move through this. That's what I mean by victim mode. It's not like, well, that's it. I'm never going to change. It's like, you can. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because you have control. No, you cannot control if this woman wants a relationship with you, just like you couldn't change your mom. Just like you couldn't change your dad. Just like you couldn't change shit in childhood. But you can change you. For you. That we have control over. And let's see where we're going. So, growth mindset. Growth mindset's a big thing here. Being growth minded is really important. And what does that mean? Understanding that you can change, that it's not a fixed mindset is this is it. Like, I get that every day. People with a fixed mindset being like, no, I'm never going to meet anybody because women suck. And it's like, again, cognitive bias. You continue to tell yourself things. Your body's going to be like, okay, all women suck. Yeah. All women are this, all women are that. And it's like, fuck you. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like, that's just what it is. It's the same thing as these rules. Oh, wait 3 months to be with a woman or with a guy. I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean that works for everybody. So we have to challenge thoughts and see different perspectives. Okay, maybe that works for these people. That doesn't work for me. Growth minded means, wait, I can change. I can change. Awesome. Choose ownership. Choose your authentic self. And if you don't know who you are, great. Welcome to the club. Let's start that journey. What are things that you like? What are things that you dislike? Let me ask you a question. In your relationships, what are things you're no longer willing to accept? What are your non-negotiables? What are your boundaries? What are your standards? What is it that you want out of a relationship? How do you want to show up in a relationship? How do you want to feel in a relationship? If you can't even, what is it that you want? It's wild to me. I have so many male clients. It's wild when I ask them that, how many just sit there and they're like, whoa, I never stopped to ask myself what it is that I wanted. I never stopped to want to ask myself, what are my needs? Not, I need someone to text me every day. No, you don't. You don't fucking know this person. Stop creating false sense of intimacy. By the way, for all of my gents, cut the fucking texting. Stop with this shit. I'm training my women. Now I'm training my men. Cut the shit. Anxiety and false sense of intimacy. You are not getting to know somebody via text. You are not getting to know somebody by fucking sitting on your phone all day. You know how you get to know somebody? Spending time with them, having conflict resolution, seeing how someone shows up for you. You want your ride or die? I want the woman that's by my side that accepts me. So then how are we showing up for that? By texting her every single day, good morning. Just because she wants that doesn't mean you can't set a boundary and say, that's not something I want to engage in. I'll never forget my partner. When we first started dating, I was like, hey, I'd love to have more texting in between dates. When I say we'd never text, like we barely text. Like this wasn't like he texts me every single day still. It would be like 2 days that I wouldn't hear from him. And I challenged my thoughts and he straight up, he was like, I'm going to set a boundary right now. I'm not interested in a digital relationship. He's like, I work in tech. I stare at screens for 9 hours. The last thing I want to do is have a mini screen on my phone trying to connect with somebody I genuinely like. I would love to spend time with you in person. And if you're free, I'd love to take you to dinner Thursday. Done. And I loved it. I was like, whoa. And then we talked about it. Like on the date, we were like talking about it. And he was like, listen, I want to spend time with you. He was like, I am not interested in a digital relationship. And I was like, okay. And every time we kept getting closer and closer. And I was like, well, this is really fucking sexy. You know how many women walked away from him? Well, I want daily texting. And if you're not going to show up for me, and he was like, I'm sorry, who the fuck are you? What do I owe you that for? I had one date with you and you think I owe this to you? People don't owe you shit. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. Except what I set as a stand. When I walked in and said, I expect respect because I'm going to give it to you. I laid out my expectations to you. I shared that with you prior. You can ask for your needs. That doesn't mean everyone has to abide by them. And if you're going to always, oh, woe is me, I knew I was too much, and you start going in. No, what we need to accept is like, not everybody's going to be picking up what you're putting down. It's just like kind of a harsh reality. And so I hope that this was able to offer a little bit of clarity on what it is that empowering yourself actually looks like, is taking radical accountability and ownership of your stuff, is really knowing who you are. It's so hot when someone knows their shortcomings. It's really hot when someone knows who they are and knows what it is that they want. And that's okay if you find somebody and you date someone and you realize after a few dates that that's not it. Great. Honesty is kindness. Just let them know. You're not doing anything wrong. And if the woman makes you feel guilty and all that, consider it. I did right then. I'm really glad that I set a boundary then, because if this is how someone reacts to a boundary, I don't think I want that person in my life. Doesn't mean I have to change who I am. So thank you guys. And if you guys want to listen more, of course, there's Do the Work podcast. Elise, do you want me to keep talking or should we answer? I wasn't sure.
Well, I want us to go answer questions, but in the VIP room, I just want to give, a big thanks to Sabrina. Like you dropped so many bombs in there. And I was like freaking, I was like trying to write notes. And at the same time, I'm like trying to listen to the next thing. It said that you need to talk slower. There's just information after information. I'm like, fuck. So I saw Matt writing away. He got a lot of value from it. He put in the chat how valuable it was. And you said so many funny things. Also, we were making some jokes in there. So
thank you.
I just want to say how much we appreciate you. And to clarify, like one of the things that you said about the texting thing, though.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is not that you can't still have texting in the relationship. It's not that if you like texting, maybe if words of affirmation is your love language or that's how you like to communicate, but don't think an entire relationship can be built off of texting, or like if it's something that drains you, that you feel like you need to entirely drain yourself to make someone else happy. Sabrina's coming in. She said that her partner set an intention right away with her, and also that he was intentional about like he still wanted to engage in the relationship, not just, hey, I'm not a good texter, I'm busy, and then like nothing else, right? And she was like, okay, I guess I just have to be in my anxious state. She was like, okay, he said he wanted to spend time with me, offered a solution, I want to take you out to dinner and see you in person, and that was good enough for her, right? Like, but if you're not looking at like, so I love that you also mentioned like he said an action and an intention and he was clear. I think a lot of us will ignore also like the other person's intentions. When people tell you who they are, you have to listen. If somebody
believe them,
want to date you, then like believe them. If someone says they don't have time or space, they don't want a relationship, it doesn't have to be a reflection of your value and your self-worth, which is what we do, is we stay in it because suddenly it becomes a challenge to prove our worthiness. And it's less about loving the other person and more about how can I get them to love me so that I feel good enough.
Exactly.
And then the second that they love you, you don't give a fuck anyway, because you didn't even like them. You just wanted the chase of your own validation. This is something men get trapped in a lot. The chase, the chase, the chase.
Yeah.
What are you actually chasing? Are you actually chasing the person, or are you chasing your own self-worth? So
100%. Yes. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. It's like, listen, oh yes, I am from, I lived in New York for 12 years. I think somebody had asked, like, is she from New York by chance? It's like, that's where this came from. But yeah, I think that's the thing is like, we have to look at intentions. If you like texting, it's like, okay, what are your intentions here? If it's just like, hey, I just want to say hi. I hope you're having a great day thinking of you. It's like, cool, that's adorable. But if it's, they didn't text me for 2 hours and why didn't they? And it's like, okay, that's when it becomes a problem, when you start to put your self-worth and then you catastrophize. And that's when I'm like, all right, we need to stop with this, because I can't tell you how many people will write in like, this girl and I've been talking for 6 months and we've only hung out once. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, now you're not actually building a proper relationship. You're not building us anything. You're just creating this fantasy. But like, exactly, my partner, when he said that, he was like, I can't tell you how many girls walked away from me. And he was like, that was okay. That just meant that they wanted something I wasn't willing to give them at that moment, because they didn't earn it. I don't know this person. Why would I give you my time every day, multiple times a day? Now, yeah, my partner and I talk all the time because he's my partner. We live together. It's not that you can't grow to it, but I think so many people see within the first one or two dates, like, she's never texting and we never text. And it's like, are you guys going on dates? Are you calling? Are you FaceTiming? Is she trying? Are you having conversations of depth? Is she showing you vulnerable parts of herself? Great. Then that is a totally different ballgame than, I just need to text every single day. And if I don't hear from them in 2 hours, then I get anxious. It's like, that's what I mean, to clarify 100%, Elise, that like, it's not it's not that you should never text. It's just, what are your intentions? Is it to quell anxiety or to actually connect with this person?
yes.
And don't worry,
100%.
I tell this to the women all fucking day. This is not me poo-pooing on men. The girls get it.
Yes. And I just love how your partner said too, that was okay. They were just looking for something that I wasn't really willing to give them. And I think sometimes we are so afraid to let people be gone. Like, don't be afraid to let go of what's good for what could be better, for what could be the best. 100%. Okay, guys. So with that being said, I dropped all of Sabrina's links in the chat, her Spotify, her Apple playlist, her Instagram. She has links to everything else from those things. You can find so many free resources, so many other offers that Sabrina offers. But right now we're going to go into the VIP room so that she can answer the questions for the VIP people. I saw some people putting questions in the chat. Sorry. If you want to be part of the VIP, you can purchase using this link that I'll drop right here. And we're going to go in there. Okay. So Sabrina, there was an updated link. You have the updated link, right?
Oh, yeah, I'll go in now.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So thank you so much. See you in there, and see you at 12:30 for the next speaker for the rest of the Year of the Man Summit. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.